You're listening to the Horror Cycle podcast for May 29th, 2022. For all our content and links to social media, visit our website at www.thehorrorcycle.com and email us at thehorrorcycle@gmail.com.
The most disturbing one I watched during that time is a Japanese movie called Grotesque.
Yeah, that's the one I got to get my hands on. I haven't seen that one yet.
Good luck if you.
It's got to be in
the Blu-ray's worth almost $300.
It's got to be in the torrent somewhere.
And
you think?
Have you seen that one?
No.
You know what I'm talking about?
No.
Grotesque.
Yeah.
The story is so minimalistic. It's not even funny. This Japanese guy go on meet on this blind date, and as their date's going on, they get clubbed over the back of the head, but in the subway, by a deranged doctor that wants to torture them, just for his own pleasure. That is the movie, and they are literally getting tortured the entire movie, and it does not end. It's relentless.
How much does it show?
Everything.
Oh, it does show. Like in a Carver kind of way with the balls.
Exactly. Yeah. Except this is more disturbing because Carver's kind of funny.
Yeah.
It's like this is really.
Yeah.
I watched it in 2009. I watched it at night at the video store when we closed the store down.
Yeah.
And I can remember almost frame for frame that movie, the entire movie.
Grotesque.
And I was drinking that night too, so I can still remember everything.
Yeah.
It was just. The torture porn, I think, was kind of coming.
Is it in Japanese? Obviously,
Japanese English subtitles. Yeah,
English subtitles.
The torture porn was kind of coming near the end, I think, of its run at that point, 2009. But
with the Hostel movies.
Yeah, they were kind of sort of the
Saw movies were
Saw.
The end,
Yeah, they kind of jumped the shark by then.
So I think the Japanese were getting involved, and this is just heavy-handed, and that's one of the 5 or 6 movies that I've watched that I felt disgusting at. Like, I felt like I had to take a shower after. You felt like, I kind of looked at my friend and I watched it with at the store. I'm like, oh, good Lord. She goes, did you like that? I'm like, I'd have to check my personality if I actually said I did enjoy that. Like, something is wrong. Oh, my God. It's only about 78 minutes the movie, but it feels like it's 2 hours.
Oh yeah, so it is a little below a normal runtime.
It's below. I don't know how much they could have put any more into that. There's one scene in it where he gets his balls, I think, nailed.
Oh yeah.
He nails his. I can't quite remember exactly how he did it. But there's a scene where he gets his balls nailed down.
Yeah. Why is it so? Is it just rare? It just had one release or something, and that's it, or?
Yeah, it limited release 2009. We bought it
in North America.
North America, yeah, it was Region 1, but after it was released, I never saw it ever come up again. Like that was in 09, 10, 11, 12. We closed the store in 13. I just never saw it available anywhere. Then now it's popped up on Blu-ray, and I believe the Blu-ray. I think it's going for $250 to $300.
Jesus
Christ! People are buying it. I might be wrong, but I thought I saw it at that price.
So no happy ending in it.
Oh God, no! It's bleak. It's ugly. And in fact, the ending is just like wow. That's one movie. The other 2 movies I put in that category where I was like, oh my God, I gotta take a shower here. In My Skin, 2001. It's a French movie.
Yeah.
This girl who feels that. That she's sort of dying from the outside in.
Yeah.
Or is it inside out? I can't remember. And she starts, one day she cuts herself on this shard of glass right in her foot, and they get, and this is right at the cusp of the French taking over with their movies, right? With them in 2006 or 7, Frontiers, Calvaire, Shaitan with Vincent Cassel.
Yeah.
High Tension was 2003, 2004. So this was right before there. The shard of glass goes into her foot, and just when you think she's going to pull it out like Eden Lake style, with the nail, she starts to dig in with it, and then you're like, oh, good Lord. And I watched this with my friend Johnny, who's really got a sensitive stomach.
Yeah.
And he's like, come on, Frog, you said this wasn't that graphic. I go, well, it doesn't say graphic violence. It just says gory violence. It doesn't say graphic.
Yeah.
Anyway, so she keeps digging in. And as the movie goes on and on, she starts to get more and more obsessed with her self-mutilation to the point where she pretty much cracks every bone in her body and like turns herself inside out. Felt it.
We have to watch Grotesque, honey.
In My Skin is another one, and the other one, Irreversible, is in there too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I watched that at the Ridge Theater afterwards.
Yeah. What kind of filmmaker would make like a movie like Grotesque? Like,
yeah, who would do that?
yeah, right?
Trust me, I looked up the director.
Yeah.
To see what he's done with other stuff.
Like
And
kids movies or something?
no, he hasn't done very much. But you know, if you read the comments on it, people like you really have to check your own sanity if you enjoyed that movie. Or even one guy goes, if you made it through this movie, you got to go down to get some psychiatric help. Where is my phone? I think I even might have a review on this film on here. Grotesque. It's right up there, Calvin. I can't think of much that's worse than that. Like Cupid Centipede 2 at least had some moments of being kind of funny.
Yeah, that's right.
Because the acting was so bad.
And had some artful moments. And yeah.
This one, the doctor, this stolid temperament, like no empathy, no reaction, just cold and calculated.
Yeah.
Have you found it on there, Grotesque?
Oh, no, sorry.
Okay, no worries. No worries. Let's see here. Grotesque. But the acting is really good in it. Mm-hmm. That's what makes it feel real. Yeah. Right? At least, if it's just some bad acting and they can start laughing and take away from what's going on.
Yeah. I definitely should try to find that. Maybe in Pirate.
So I'm going to see what they're... 4.8 out of 10. Wow, that's high.
4.8 out of 10 is a rating?
A rating on IMDb. That's actually quite high. For a splatter movie like this?
Yeah.
Just want to see the users. Just like Hostel and Saw, going to Japan to take some anabolic steroids. Vile, depraved, revolting, and disturbing. Oh, that's me! Oh, there it is. Okay.
This is your review?
It's my review.
From what? When did you review it?
February 20th, 2013. So I reviewed it 4 years after I watched it.
So 8 years ago.
This to me is what Hostel Saw and a myriad of other torture porn flicks over the years tried to do. I saw this film back in 2009, and I can remember the entire film vividly, exactly what I just said to you.
Yeah.
The plot, although tenuous, is so disturbing and nihilistic that I felt I had to take a shower after the film. We have 3 characters in the film, and almost the entire running length takes place in a dark, dank, underlit torture room reminiscent to a Nazi experiment chamber. I give this film a 7 out of 10. Wow. For the sheer nastiness and how relentless the movie is in depicting the pain and suffering of 2 young youths abducted. The movie has guts, and guts is what you will see. I am not surprised that Nick Cage thought this was a snuff film, because for the life of me, this felt so bloody real. So Nicolas Cage, I forgot to mention this, he got a copy of this movie sent to his house. Mm-hmm. And Nicolas Cage thought it was a snuff movie.
Fucking snuff movie.
Yeah. And he reported it, but it was an actual movie.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, it was sent to him because of his 8mm movies. It's a little piece of trivia here.
Yeah.
Nicolas Cage was sent a copy of Grotesque. Who the hell sent it to him?
Yeah.
I have no idea.
Okay, but I mean, snuff films typically don't have cinematography and angles and stuff.
No. Yeah. I mean, the film it's pretty dark.
Yeah.
It's pretty really. I mean, it wasn't like it's no like Stanley Kubrick movie in the way it was shot, right? But it says here. I'm not. After the film, I was so disturbed and depressed that I couldn't walk home.
Is that somebody else?
I just lived down the street.
Oh, is this you?
This is me. This hasn't happened since the original Halloween, but I was just a kid then. If you couldn't handle Human Centipede, Serbian Film, or The Antichrist, then stay far away from this one. You have been warned. And I've got 18 and a 19 found it helpful. So this guy goes, every bit as graphic and vile as you've heard. I mean, very disturbing and well-made torture flick. Gore at the expense of everything else. This is one guy, from a veteran of extreme cinema, 1 out of 10. For years, I have watched some of the most graphic, intensive, disturbing movies that I can find. This isn't because I'm some twisted weirdo or anything, but because I'm an all-encompassing cinephile that can and has given 10-star ratings to movies from Beauty and the Beast to Antichrist. Wow.
Antichrist.
To truly love all the films has to offer, you have to understand all that film has to offer. When you watch extreme cinema, you have to know that the violence... Okay, let's get to the point here. This brings me to the film Grotesque. Without ruining the film, it does that on its own. I will say that there's only the slightest bit of backstory, which is lazily done, and it seems that it might have been an afterthought, and no attempt at putting any of the written within the context. Bottom line, a guy abducts a couple and brutally tortures them. That's it. No point, no reason, no characters for nothing. He's right. Not only that, it's technically flawed film as well. The cinematography is horrible. Handheld zoom-ins, overdone color filters, and an overall poor job. It doesn't help that the majority of the film is very dark and shot. I mean, that's true. So you get annoyed with the. In terms of writing, for the most part, there isn't any. When the film finally gets to a point where the characters say something other than "please stop" or "why are you doing this," they act in a way that makes absolutely no sense. People that would have gone through what they went would never show the side. I mean, he's over-analyzing. I mean, come on. Anyway, most people like it. 8, 4, J Splatter, worth a watch. Strike Up the Band. And it was banned in a lot of countries. 10 out of 10. Oh my God. 10 out of 10. This movie is great. Everyone should watch it. Oh, and this movie has squirting in it, and who doesn't like that? Wow.
Justin gets simulated, right?
Yeah. Look at this guy.
And who doesn't like that?
It was this guy. I'm sick. Have seen a lot of horrors, and this isn't one of them. No thrill, no build-up, and certainly no suspense. If seeing people raped and mutilated is your thing, then this is for you. However, have to recommend any of the saws for a proper build-up or when... have never registered with IMDb before and always trust the people's judgments. I am asking you, please trust mine and find something to make you sit on the edge of your seat instead of an excuse to show abuse. It's true. I mean, I gave it 7 out of 10 because just for the rawness, and I can't believe the director had the balls to make something like this. Literally, like it's. I think you would like it.
Yeah,
I think you would like it because it's got that. You got that penchant for
something
low
perverse,
budget, and gory, and off the rails, and
like Carver. Man, I rewound that scene. Like you saw that, right?
No.
Carver.
Oh,
it's a low budget indie from 2008, and it's a cliche, right? It's just kids going out to the country camping, and they get out there, and it sort of has some either rip-offs or it's not clever enough to be a homage. Texas Chainsaw Massacre, where they show up and there's the guy at the gas station, like what are y'all doing out here, and without mentioning that he's got some big fat deranged half mentally retarded brother that likes to kill everyone.
And the music in the background was just haunting.
And so this guy goes into an outhouse and he's sitting there having a dump. And all of a sudden...
They show it all.
They show it. And he grabs his legs and he pulls them. And he's on the floor and he just And this guy was swift. He handcuffed him to the back of this toilet.
Did he put his head in the toilet?
No. He just, beside him, he kind of falls off. And then he holds up a pair of bolt cutters and...
Oh, God.
And the guy's landing goes, "What are you going to do with those?"
But I thought it looked quite real.
Oh, yeah. And he sticks it right on this guy's balls, and he squashes it, and it just...
Oh!
And then it very artfully cuts to the outside of the outhouse where you hear his screams echoing into the night.
But before they get to the outhouse, the guy that goes into the stall, it has to be one of the messiest...
Oh, it's full of shit.
It's literally, they don't hold back, showing the shit and piss everywhere.
Yeah.
In this, but you just see the guy. Here he is. It's shit and piss everywhere. He actually gets the toilet paper and he starts moving it around, doesn't he?
Yeah.
And sits on the toilet. Who does that?
Yeah, he's like, "Oh, okay, whatever. I'll just sit on it."
Hold it. I mean,
I would rather just go out in the woods and have a dump.
Oh my God. Who does that?
Yeah.
I mean, that part was far-fetched, but
Yeah, completely far-fetched, but that bolt cutters on the balls, that was
What year was this?
2008.
And have you noticed all these movies that we're talking about? They're all 2000s,
Yep.
right?
Yeah.
I think the 2000s were much better than the 2010s for horror.
Yeah.
Even though there were a lot of good ones in 2010s. But I think they were much better.
Yeah.
I put it ahead in the 90s. Not the 80s.
No, the 90s were, it was I think because slasher films had kind of jumped the shark by then and needed a rest.
Yeah.
And
The 90s.
I mean, what did the 90s have, really, right? They had Scream, which was more of a...
more of a kind of a wink to the horror. Horror genre.
Yeah.
Meta horror and stuff like that.
Yeah. I think there was probably a few, but it was all the WB actors.
Do you know what had happened? Remember when Silence of the Lambs won? When it did it win an Oscar? It did, didn't it?
I think it swept, didn't it?
Okay.
Well, I don't know about that, but I know
it won Best Picture, right?
Supporting actor too. I think.
She won Best Actress.
That's when they officially changed the name to being a thriller. Silence of the Lambs is a fucking horror movie.
It's a horror movie.
It's a horror movie. But the whole idea of it being a thriller was, the upper echelon, the vernacular of the people. Oh, there's no way a horror movie, which is a lowbrow crowd, could win the Oscars.
Yeah, because
so they call it a thriller.
Anthony Hopkins and Jodie Foster had already won Oscars previous to that.
That's right.
So
that's right.
They're not going to star in a horror movie.
No.
Yeah.
So that spawned all these thrillers going on. They call them all the Basic Instinct, the Fatal Attraction, which was in the 80s, but still. All these thrillers were really picking up steam. I mean, like, you remember in the video stores, of just every week there's a new thriller that's come out.
Yep.
Right? I felt that horror really didn't pick up until mid to late 90s. It started to get a little bit better.
Yeah, but again, it was just, like I say, all the WB actors. I Know What You Did Last Summer, and,
But I'm thinking more of the underground stuff. Like, there was one called Cutting Moments from 1996, which was an anthology. Another one, Clean Shaven, another weird one.
I've heard of that.
Clean Shaven was a really strange movie. All these ones from the mid to late 90s that started to pop up, and then it kind of went over into the 2000s, and then the things went off the rails, like in a good way.
Yeah.
In a really good way.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
it made a total comeback.
Yeah, someone told me to name 20 great horror movies in the 90s. I don't know if I could do it. You told me to name 100 in the 2000s, I could do it. Mm-hmm. That just shows you the difference.
Exactly.
Right?
I think there's a big gap there, right?
Yeah. But, there was...
I mean,
there was still Wes Craven's New Nightmare I thought was really well done.
Yeah, that was good.
Yeah, that was ahead of its time.
Yeah, way ahead of its time. In fact, the whole meta thing, you talk about the Scream influence, the horror movies that come back, right? Mm-hmm. And Milt just says it's ahead of its time, Wes Craven's New Nightmare, 94. What about Jason Lives? That was like total meta.
Yeah.
Way before Wes Craven's New Nightmare. Mm-hmm. And giving a wink to the camera, Martin, the caretaker, some folks, none of that stuff really was done before.
That's true, yeah.
But when people talk about these films, and they never mention Jason.
No, not at all.
Part 6.
No, and Jason, I mean, that movie doesn't even make the top. I don't know. It's if you're gonna rank all of the Friday the 13th.
Part 6 is up there.
Do you think so?
Oh no, it is. Part 6 is it's a fan favorite. I don't know about the critics and stuff, but it's I think if you go to everybody's list, it's on everybody's top 3 or 4.
Yeah.
Would you agree?
Easily, yeah.
Yeah. It's basically 1, 6, 4, and 2 and 3. You could kind of interchange them. And, they go.
I've looked on a few lists. Part 1 sometimes doesn't even make a top 5.
Sometimes, Sometimes
for sentimental reasons, it'll make top 3 or something, but...
The ones that you never see in the top are Part 5.
Part 5,
Part 8.
Part 8. Anything past Part 7.
Part 8, 9, 10, Freddy vs. Jason.
No.
I still can't understand how people like that remake. Really, like...
The remake? With
really?
What's-His-Nuts from Supernatural?
Come on, guys. You're squashing 4 movies into one.
Yeah.
Right?
You know what? I think I was so thrilled to see a Friday the 13th movie that it was like I enjoyed it.
I liked it then.
Yeah.
I liked it in 2009 when it came out.
Yeah.
I loved it. I watched it in the theater. I had a free pass to go see it.
Yeah.
2 weeks before the movie opened. Mm-hmm. I took my cousin down there, and we were cheering and going bananas, this and that. And then when it came out on DVD in 2010, or no, in the summer of 2009, I watched it by myself, and I remember Isn't that great?
No,
the acting by that one guy in the movie, the preppy guy, was just some of the worst in the entire series.
Him.
I forgot his name. Dwayne.
The guy who owns the house.
Total millennial name too. I can't remember anyway, but. Yeah, it wasn't that good at all.
And plus they made Jason a little bit too aware of what he was doing, because he had the place booby-trapped with, tripwires.
But the thing is, I agree with that. I agree, but then I thought, but you know what? Part 2, let's think about part 2. Mm-hmm. Jason had fucking traps everywhere.
That's true, yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So the problem was with that was that Jason had the mask on when they were finding all these traps. Mm-hmm. Which would say that was either part 3 or part 4. Mm-hmm. In part 3 and part 4, there were no traps anywhere set because it wasn't even at Crystal Lake.
That's right.
It was at New Haven's there that in part 3.
Higgins Haven.
And part 4 was across as well.
Yeah. All different sides of the lake.
All different sides of the lake.
Yeah.
Right. Well, even part 2. Part 2 was on the other side as well. Mm-hmm. But the two campers there, Marta Cobber and the blonde-haired guy, mm-hmm. they went and ventured across. Remember, they were caught.
Yeah, that's right.
But there were traps everywhere.
Yeah, that's
so you think about it, why couldn't Jason have traps underneath the ground? But the elaborate maze and come on.
Yeah, that part. It just seemed a little too.
It seemed like to me it was trying to. Some of the killings were torture. Like Jason doesn't torture his victims.
No, it's just boom. That's it.
Yeah, it was kind of like let's get involved in the torture porn.
Yeah.
Thing, right?
Almost.
So, looking back, Freddy versus Jason is terrible.
No.
What do you guys think of Freddy vs. Jason?
I didn't like it. Again,
I loved it then. I loved it when it came out.
It was good because, it'd been such a long time since there was a Monster Mash movie, right? Something versus something. Yeah. And, so that was great. And plus these two icons, going at it. But...
the scene, you couldn't ask for better. The good-looking girl takes all her clothes off, goes into the lake.
Yeah, they just do all the cliches, right?
Everything. And there's Jason going after her and Freddy using Jason everything was set up so well. Mm-hmm. And
I think a movie like that, they probably is like, fuck it doesn't have to be any good. Everyone's going to go see it.
That's true. It made 83 million.
Yeah.
The most of any Friday the 13th series.
Yeah.
And yet they...
they should have done a Michael versus Jason, because they're both...
in the same world?
Yeah, because they're both, Jersey boys, right?
Yeah. It's
even though, Halloween's set in Indiana or whatever it was, but
Illinois.
Illinois, yeah.
Haddonfield,
Illinois. But
yeah,
it's.
I think you're right, but I think Freddy, at the time at least, because I know they've done a lot of Halloween since then.
That's right. Yeah.
But at the time, I think Freddy was more popular than Michael.
Yeah, that's right.
Right. So. Right.
I like that one. Have you seen that one? That fan movie, Jason versus Michael?
No, I don't really watch those stuff.
It's fucking good, actually. Yeah. It's well done.
I tell you why I don't like watching them. Yeah. Is because if I really like them, I'm going to want to have them on Blu-ray, and then I know they're not available on Blu-ray. So I'm really that.
Have you seen it?
No.
Oh, it's good. It's about. I'd say it's about a half hour long.
What the fuck?
And the cat. It's about a half hour long or so. It's on YouTube. It's just released on YouTube. And they're transporting Michael Myers, this SWAT team, and it's done really well. Like, you could tell this thing had a budget, like probably a good $100,000 budget or something. And the SWAT team's transferring him to another facility kind of thing. And all of a sudden, the truck stops and they're all dead inside of it. All these guys with, M16s. He just overpowers them all. And then he's out in the woods. He's going through the woods or whatever. And, of course, he does this right at the Camp Crystal Lake area. And there's Jason, and they just happen upon each other. And they start going at it, and each of them becomes increasingly more confused as the fight goes on. Because Jason's, of course, each of them are used to just like, boom, the guy's dead, right? And so Jason fucking just beats the shit out of him. And he's like laying there. And then he gets up, right? And Jason's like, what the fuck? And so it almost, they're both, it's like a little angle that neither of them are used to.
Do they make money on these things? Like, they put, like, say the budget's 50, 60,000. Like, how do they make their money back?
It probably does they probably just the ad revenue off
YouTube.
So
they would make it from that.
Yeah. Yeah, the viewership on YouTube. But it was good. It was well done. Good filters, good cinematography. I've watched it a few times.
Milt, you got a bolt?
No, I think the cat wants to come inside.
Oh, you probably leave that open. Okay.
Poor cat.
Do you guys ever look back and like when you watch the Friday the 13th and just wonder like, oh my god, they're just bloodless? There's like nothing. Not the early ones, but like once you get to part 6, Jason Lives, everything is cut. 6, 7, 8.
John Mallory is watching. Hey, John, we were just, I had the camera pointing at because we were just trying to do audio only on this one, and for some reason it wasn't working, so that's why I just kind of had it pointing at the, yeah. Yeah, sorry.
Like, they're just bloodless.
Which ones?
Well, part 6 has a lot of great killings.
Yeah, great.
Right?
But
they don't really, it's not really bloody.
No, they're not. And they cut away, and that's because the
NBA
just edited the shit out of them because standards and practices got so tight by then.
And you know, it was Ronald Reagan was right behind all of that.
Probably, yeah.
Right, Ronald Reagan era, like the Jason movies that were made were when he was from 1980?
1980 to 88.
88, yeah. So the first that's why we got the first Friday the 13th uncut.
Yeah.
And you know why? Do you guys know why? The first one's uncut, but the other ones aren't?
Why is that?
Because the first one, they had no idea how graphic it was going to be.
That's true, yeah.
And then all of a sudden, everybody's talking about Friday the 13th, and like you said, they rushed that second one out to ride the coattails. Well, we got to watch this. I mean, it was nothing but, you know.
Probably wouldn't have gone past 3, I would imagine. I think it was meant to be a trilogy originally. If they didn't come up with, like, if that hockey mask thing didn't
in part 3
didn't create that iconic, you know, kind of persona.
Part 3 made quite a bit of money. On its 3D.
Yeah.
And if you guys remember, the theaters were really starting to get a lot of 3D movies at that time. Amityville 3D just came out as well, right? And it was all because VHS and Beta were taking off in home movie theaters. Mm-hmm. That the people in the film industry said, well, listen, why don't we bring back that old 3D that we used to do in the 50s and 60s?
Yeah,
let's bring it back now, so people still come to the theater because they can't do that in home theater.
Nope.
Right? That was one of the reasons why Part 3 did so well, because the whole movie was set up as a gimmick, and you could see when you watch even the 2D, everything is coming towards
that's right,
the camera, which was a lot of fun. I watched Part 3 now, and I think it's a masterpiece.
Oh, I love Part 3.
It's an absolute masterpiece.
Yeah, I think that's probably what my go-to one. If I want to watch a Friday the 13th movie, doesn't matter what it is, I usually put in Part 3. And, I think it's also, in terms of Jason, one of the creepiest Jasons. Yeah, I just love that Jason. Like, when I line up, and I've critiqued all of the Jasons, like, everyone likes to suck Kane Hodder's dick because he did, 3 of them? Or 4 of them?
And which barring the first one, which I like Part 7.
Yeah.
The other 3, I think, are the 3 worst in the fucking series.
Yeah, exactly.
They're just terrible.
Yeah, but Richard Brooker was he just had such a unique look to him. Mm-hmm. I mean, the big padded shoulders thing notwithstanding, I thought that was kind of you know, like he had these big football shoulders, you know, like just the way he held his hands and just his gait. You know, the way he ran, it just made him absolutely unique. And the Ted Green in Part 4 tried to recreate that a little bit because it's a direct, 2 hours later kind of thing, right?
I still think the Jason without his mask in Part 3 is the scariest of them all.
Oh, yeah.
Part 4 is the most gruesome. His look in Part 4. Remember when they removed the mask, his face? That to me is the most gruesome looking Jason, but the scariest one is the third one.
Yeah, because it was the closest to looking like human. And, it just fucked right up.
I can't remember. Is that scene in the edited ending, or is it in the actual where Chris wakes up on the boat, she looks over, and Jason's looking out the window?
And he does that thing on the window? That scares the shit out of me.
That is so creepy. Yeah. In the ending, I love the idea of the mom coming up.
Yeah.
It's underrated. It really is underrated.
Absolutely underrated.
I like it more than Part 4.
Yeah, Part 4...
I still love Part 4.
Yeah, I like Part 4. I don't know, I like it. It's great. It's a good, just perfect, continuation of Part 3.
Yeah.
I don't know. To me, it feels like a little bit too long. Feels just, I don't know.
Even though they're not.
I think by the time you hit part 4, it is so cliche, right? With the 7 teenagers, and it's just it's just like, okay, they're gonna croak, right? It just, I think one of the saving graces of the movie was Crispin Glover, and.
Dance.
Yeah.
His dance, the Crispin dance.
So in the Jasons, let's say that forget Freddy versus Jason, forget the remake.
Yeah.
In the 10 Jasons, only 2 of them took place at Crystal Lake.
Part 1.
Sorry, 3 of them. 3 of them have taken place at Crystal Lake, and 2 of them have the name Crystal Lake because one of them doesn't have the name Crystal Lake.
Part 1 and Part 6.
Part 1, 6.
Wasn't 6 renamed?
No, Part 5 they renamed it to
Forest Green is 6.
That's Part 5.
6.
Is it 6?
100%.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
Camp Forest Green, 100%.
Yeah.
So Part 1 is on Crystal Lake.
Yeah.
Part 2 is across the lake.
Part 2 is across the
Part
lake.
3 is the New Havens.
Higgins Haven on the other side.
On the other side.
Yeah.
Part 4 is also on another section.
Yep.
Near Crystal Lake.
Yeah.
Part 5, not in Crystal Lake.
I don't even know where the hell Part 5 is.
Some institution somewhere.
Well, it's got to be somewhere close to Crystal Lake because the sheriff or the mayor and the sheriff, remember they're having that fight and they were talking about Jason being
covering it up.
Yeah, so it's got to be somewhere close to
somewhere
it, right?
close, but not Crystal Lake.
Yeah.
Part 6 finally it's back.
Returns to it. Yeah.
That's right.
Yeah.
And that's why Tom McLaughlin said that Jason's returned to Crystal Lake for the first time. That's why you see him do this to the Forest Green sign when his head.
That's right.
Twisting his head to the forest.
Yeah.
Because that.
And there was two Jasons in that movie.
Yes.
Yeah, 2 actors that
one
played
of them during the day, during some of the
The
daylight.
first
It
up
was just
until
a paintball scene.
the paintball scene.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If you watch it closely, you could tell.
Yeah.
You could tell there's
He's
like
shorter.
the shoulders are more
skinnier.
slumped.
Yeah.
And I think the beginning and then the paintball scene.
So part 7 is Crystal Lake. It's the first time it's called Crystal Lake since the original.
Yep.
And part 8 that starts out in Crystal Lake,
Mm-hmm.
but then they fuck off. And part 9, I don't know what that was, and then part 10 he's in space. So there really only 3 of them
Yep.
were
That's
in
right.
Crystal Lake.
Part 8, that's when you discover that what is it? That Crystal Lake is not landlocked. It's actually an inlet.
Connected to the ocean
Connected to the ocean.
Which one is the worst of them all? If you had to pick one, and I mean I know there's 3 or 4 really bad ones, but if you had to pick one, which one would you say
Ultimate
is the
worst one?
Okay, you think about it. I'll be right
Okay.
somewhere.
Yeah.
I got my answer.
I got my answer as well. Because the couple of ones that should be the worst ones, like Jason X is a standalone to me, right? Like they could have made that about anything.
Yeah.
And it actually isn't if you're just watching it from a standpoint of a standalone movie. It's actually not that. I liked Uber Jason. I thought he was pretty cool. But I don't think it's.
It didn't feel like a Jason movie.
No, it totally didn't. It's yeah. I mean, you could argue for a 3-way tie for worst.
Yeah,
But
someone just took a low-budget sci-fi script and say, "Hey, let's put Jason in it."
But I'm pretty sure I know what my answer is because it is just the most unwatchable piece of shit. Like it just there's like one redeeming scene in that whole movie, and okay, so Anthony.
Yeah.
Okay, so
it comes back.
Okay, so my answer is Jason Takes Manhattan.
Okay.
And for the reason is you find out Crystal Lake's not landlocked. like that's just fucking retarded.
Yeah.
The way Jason gets resurrected again, dragging the anchor across that thing.
Yeah, it's kind of
a horrible resurrection.
Yeah.
It was just a mail-in.
Laziness.
Yeah. Lazy filmmaking.
Yeah.
No creativity there whatsoever.
Yeah.
Yeah,
you're right. It's
yeah.
pretty. I mean, at least the 7th one, some
That was creative.
stuff.
That was Part 7 was supposed to be Jason versus Freddy, and New Line Cinema and Paramount couldn't marry up on a thing, but they wanted a Jason versus somebody. So
Carrie.
Jason versus Carrie kind of a thing, right?
Yeah.
And which made it so unbelievable and unreal that it was a good movie. I liked it.
Yeah, it was good.
Part 8, it was just. I don't know. I mean, first of all, the title's misleading because they're only in Manhattan for the last 10 minutes of the movie.
Yeah. I think I timed it. I think it's like 17 and a half minutes.
17 and a half minutes?
Yeah.
It's not even really Manhattan. It's like only like, what?
Downtown Vancouver.
Yeah, 2 minutes at
basically.
Times Square and that's it.
Yeah.
And the rest is
Yeah. I think it's just A to Z. It's just horrible acting, horrible everything. And the only redeeming scene in that whole entire movie...
The boxing match?
No, not even that.
Yeah,
just
I thought that was
I liked the tiny bit of humor they give to Jason, and like when he climbs out of the water,
he
looks up and sees that hockey mask, and he just kind of looks at it, and and then when he's walking through Times Square and he kicks that ghetto blaster, and those guys, and he turns around and he breaks the fourth wall by looking at the camera, and then kind of keeps walking. So I thought that was actually kind of cool. Something like that they could have put into any of the movies, but I think A to Z, it was just a fucked up movie, and the worst one. Part 8, I know they were trying to do something.
Part 8 is your worst?
Part 8 is my worst.
Okay, Milt, go ahead. Your turn.
My worst? Jason 10. I tried rewatching it. I'm like, holy fuck, it's so boring. Low budget. I can't stand it. It does not feel like Friday the 13th.
Jason X?
Yeah. Friday the 13th movie at all. Yeah.
Well, it's funny is that I hate both those movies that you guys mentioned, and it's not my worst.
Yeah.
It's not my worst. Jason 10 is my second worst.
Yeah.
Jason Takes Manhattan is my third worst. My worst is Jason Goes to Hell.
Yeah, that's...
And the reason why I put that one worse than the two that you guys said is because at least Jason Takes Manhattan, at least it starts at Crystal Lake. You see Jason, and it's Jason doing the killings. You see Jason kill the guy with the guitar. You see Jason get the heated rock from the sauna and shove it into the guy's chest. That was a good killing, actually.
Yeah.
The acting was atrocious in the 8th one.
Oh,
I agree.
yeah.
Could be the worst of the series.
Mm-hmm.
Could be.
8, 9, and 10 could easily tie for
David Cronenberg was
collectively.
awful in the 10th one. And anyway,
Did he direct the 10th one?
No. Wish he directed it.
Just a small role.
Small role. It's just terrible.
1 minute long.
He gets killed, but it's just awful.
Yeah.
But the 9th one, Jason Goes to Hell. Holy
The Final
shit.
Friday.
Wow.
Yeah.
I can watch that more than Jason 10.
Well, it starts off with a bang, right? That FBI agent.
It starts Creighton Duke.
Creighton Duke.
Yes.
I think isn't he like that's like the closest you ever get to like a Dr. Loomis kind of character, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
But come on, Jason blows up to smithereens, which everybody is shocked to see that.
Yeah.
And there he is in the bushes. I don't think so. Come on! He knows right there that Jason's going to come back as some hidden serpent. But so Jason 10 again. At least you see Jason killing. This is part 5. At least it's Jason, even though it's not Jason.
A faux Jason.
But part 6, part 9.
Yeah.
This fucking lizard going around. I just couldn't believe it.
Yeah.
It was, and then they released it uncut on the VHS when it came out in '94, beginning of '95.
I still have it.
You know what would have been awesome?
Which was
if,
good.
If the serpent was what was driving him, then it would have been awesome to just not blow him up, right? But say this thing fucking slithers out of his body, and then he turns normal.
You know what?
He takes his mask off.
The only thing I liked about that is when Jason, when Jason took over someone's body, when they walked by a mirror, you saw the reflection being Jason.
Yeah.
I thought that was kind of cool, but that's it.
Mm-hmm.
The acting was atrocious, and then they fuck around with the whole storyline in this one.
Mm-hmm.
Jason's got this niece or something. It kind of reminded me of. It was trying to be like Halloween all of a sudden.
Yeah.
Jason's all connected. It reminds me a lot of Halloween 6. The Revenge of Michael. The Curse of Michael Myers.
It was Return, Revenge, and Curse.
The Curse, where there's all this fucking druids and this and
they followed the Pink Panther.
Yeah. So for me, I would say it would be Jason Goes to Hell, just because you don't see Jason at all. And then he
Yeah.
pops up at the end, and
I mean, everybody was like, "Whoa!" Right at the end where Freddy's hand comes out.
Yeah, you know, everybody's whoa at the end and whoa
Yeah.
at the beginning.
Yeah.
But nothing in between.
Yeah.
That would be the one I would watch the least.
Yeah.
But if I've got the uncut version of that movie,
Mm-hmm.
I think I watch it over Jason 10.
Yeah.
I think because Jason 10.
Jason 10, I got a kick out of it. It's,
Fuck, Milt's right. It is boring. There are scenes of
Yeah.
Jason just lumbering around in the spaceship doing nothing.
Yeah.
I mean, a couple of interesting killings. Him, the cyber Jason to me.
Jason.
Do you guys remember we see Jason flying through the air in space?
That's right, yeah.
I remember I was watching that in the theater. I looked over at my friend Curtis. I go, "You got to be kidding me!" Curtis looks at me and goes, "This is just absolute shit." I go, "You know what? If I was alone, I would have walked out of the theater. I went to the movie theater. I would have walked out of Jason 10.
Yeah. I mean, I consider Jason X and Freddy vs. Jason not even part of the franchise almost. You know what I mean?
Well, Jason X was just made because Freddy vs. Jason was delayed again.
Yeah, that's right.
Right?
And, but there was like, what, a 7-year gap between Final Friday and Jason X? Or an 8-year gap?
8 years.
8 years?
8 years.
And so it almost just felt like just something they just chucked out there.
Remember, after the 93, they were talking about Fangoria magazine, 94, 95, that it's coming up, Freddy versus Jason. And I think they had it all set up. Like, I still remember seeing the year 2000.
Yeah.
And them having, like, images of Jason and Freddy in the zeros. Right? And it still...
Hi, Lise. Thanks for watching.
And it still didn't have... In the year 2000, they still didn't do it. So then by the end of 2001, all of a sudden it's Jason 10 in space. That was a shock.
Hey, hold on a sec.
Hell? Like, where did that come from?
It was also the whole rights issue, too. Because Sean Cunningham had the rights for Jason, but not Friday the 13th title. Because Paramount's so old then.
Yeah.
So.
Is that why they just called it Jason 10?
Yeah, he just went off and went to New Line, like, hey, I want to make some Jason Voorhees movies. So they did Jason Goes to Hell, Friday the 13th, Final Friday. They didn't use Friday the 13th in the title. Yeah, Jason 10, and then Freddy versus Jason.
That's right. Yeah. So I would consider those standalones almost. If you don't have Friday the 13th.
I consider it's the first 8 together. And you'll notice in a lot of Blu-ray releases, they have just the first 8.
The first 8.
Right? They just the Paramount ones, right? Yeah. By the way, speaking of the Friday 13th, what can you, if you, do you know a place that you can get it for a decent price? Like the box set, the
Didn't
the
you
big
get
one.
the
Scream Factory one?
Yeah.
Like what's it going for now? Is it still around the 150 mark?
124, I think.
Okay, so there.
115, somewhere around there. Yeah.
Okay.
I know, like Amazon dropped $100 at one point.
Yeah.
It was like super cheap, and
Do they have audio commentary for part 2?
I think so.
Because the only way I want it is if there's audio commentary for 2 and 3.
Yeah.
Because all the other releases don't have audio commentary. They got for part 1, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8.
I thought they had it for part. Like, didn't Steve Miner do 2 and 3?
He did, but there's no audio commentary on any of the releases. But if that one's got it,
pretty sure it does.
For sure, I would be into getting that.
I gotta check mine.
Just get it.
I thought for sure it had.
What was it? No,
it's such a good set. You should just get it. Anyway.
I thought for sure my part 3 had audio commentary from Steve Miner.
I'm picking up the. Remember that guy in North Van I was telling you about? I buy all those rare horror movies from him and sell them on eBay.
Yep.
He's got the box set of Jason with the mask.
Oh, that one,
That's worth quite a bit.
Cool,
actually.
yeah.
That's worth quite a bit. You actually got a mask in there, and they didn't make that many of those, I don't think.
No.
So it's good.
That and the Collector's 10 Blu-ray is also
Collector's. Oh, the one with the machete on the cover.
I can't remember. I think it was Jason Voorhees on the cover.
Yeah.
With the machete, but
yeah,
it was a Collector's 10. It had like the first 8 movies.
Yeah.
And apparently there's like some bonus stuff in there too that they add. I can't remember.
Well, they got a re-release part 7, an uncut version.
Well, they could you imagine if they had all of them uncut? But I think that I don't think they have prints of it. Because they were saying the only thing they have on the uncut is the in the special features. You can see each scene.
Just that very raw footage.
Grainy footage that was never incorporated into the film.
Yeah.
See, I always thought that there was a cut.
I
They
thought
didn't.
there was too.
Yeah, and then the MPA. Yeah.
Well, I knew Paramount was destroying them because they didn't want to keep it around at the time. They didn't have the storage for it, and they never thought about this whole like extra features, bonus features on
Back
DVDs
then,
and
yeah.
stuff like that. Yeah, they just like discarded it.
And I bet you if they looked into the future and they saw the collectors now and the way we are and stuff like that, I mean, people are like...
Money in the bank,
horror
right?
movies are... The Blu-rays and 4K are selling for fucking high prices.
Yeah.
And, like... give you an idea. Saint Maud, this new horror movie that just came out.
Yeah.
I got 9 copies on Blu-ray. 9 of them.
9 of them.
Blu-ray and Blu-ray and digital.
Yeah.
Right? I bought 5 copies on DVD. I sold all 9 Blu-rays within 48 hours.
Holy
and
shit.
I kept my copy of it.
Yeah.
I haven't sold one of the DVDs yet. That just gives you an idea of where people are right now with Blu-ray and DVD.
Mm-hmm.
So now I've had them on there for 1 week.
Mm-hmm.
All 9 of my Blu-rays gone in 48 hours.
Huh.
And I haven't sold one DVD yet. I got a couple on watch.
So those are the bonus features for
The 13th uncut. So here we go.
box sets.
Part 2. Here we go. Audio commentary.
No.
With actress Amy Steele.
Amy Steele?
Oh, man.
Yeah, they
Filmmaker.
recorded some new ones.
Oh,
Just
okay.
this box set, yeah.
My Life with Ginny. A conversation with Amy Steele. Oh, my God. I got it. Yeah, and I got to get it now. Now, Part 3 never has audio commentary either.
It does.
Commentary with actors Larry Zerner,
Larry Shelley.
Shelley.
Yeah.
Paul Kratka,
He was...
the eyeball popping out.
Rick.
Rick, yeah.
Yeah, he was Rick.
Richard Brooker with the English accent.
Oh! I love that guy.
And Dana Kimmel, the main star of the movie.
Dana Kimmel. Yeah.
Wow. And then, let's see, so part 2 and 3, they got the commentary. Part 4.
Good.
So part 4's got a fan audio commentary and one with the director, which I've listened to that one, but I don't know the fan one. Part 5. Okay, that's another good one. So the audio commentary I have is just with the director, Danny Steinman. That is a fucking killer audio commentary because he just goes on and on about how he didn't know a fucking thing about the Friday 13 franchise. He never saw any of the movies and never watched them. Never watched them because, I don't know, they wanted me to do it, I'm going to do it my way.
Yeah.
Right? It's pretty funny. Part 6 is called... Oh, it's a fan commentary with part 6 too.
Fan commentary.
The one with the actors is good.
I've watched all of the actors.
Yeah.
Oh, no, I've only watched all with Tom McLaughlin.
No, yeah, this is a new one. This one was
Tom
made for
McLaughlin,
the disc.
actor Vincent... Oh, that's the guy who plays Court. Is it Vincent Gustaffer? The guy who plays
remember.
Court? Guy gets the...
Maybe.
I think so, yeah.
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 And editor Bruce Green. Okay, so there's two more commentaries to watch. This is all new stuff. /things down there. Now, part 7. Commentary, I've seen that one with Kane Hodder. And it's only the one. Oh, no. So they have one with Lar Park Lincoln,
Yeah, from part
Tina.
7. Tina, part 7.
Kane Hodder, and the director. And then they have another one with just Kane Hodder and the director. That's unusual.
Huh.
Part 8. Well, I watched this one with the commentary too, and I can't believe the director, Rob Hedden, actually satisfied with the final product. He goes, I'm satisfied. I think I did a good job.
Of which one?
Part 8.
Part 8? He doesn't work in movies anymore, does he?
No. And do you know that there's a scene in part 8 where Jason, remember when he goes into the diner
Yeah.
and he throws the big security guard there?
Wasn't
Yeah.
he Kane Hodder's stunt double or something? Or no, he played Jason, didn't he?
Yeah.
He was Kane Hodder's stunt double in that movie, part 8. He went on to take Jason's role in Freddy vs. Jason.
Oh, that's right, too. Yeah.
Ken,
Kane,
whatever.
So on the commentary, Kane goes, I should have thrown him a little harder. Oh, man. You take on my... Oh, man. Okay, I'm going to ask you this, Milt. When they say a Blu-ray, a Blu-ray's got this new 4K scan
Okay.
on the Blu-ray. But that's not equivalent to a 4K release, is it?
No.
What does it mean then?
They took the negatives, rescanned it for 4K, and then they put it on the Blu-ray. So they try to fit all of it on the Blu-ray disc, right? But you're not getting the full 4K result. like you would
Okay.
with an Ultra HD.
Is it like kind of like is it kind of like you wanted to record a DVD onto a Blu-ray disc? Is it sort of similar to that? It loses its quality. Sorry, or just record like a DVD to a DVD, a blank DVD. Like it's going to lose some of its quality, or not quite.
Yeah, I guess so because it's more compressed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so is that version better than the 2K version?
Yes. Oh, absolutely.
Even though it's not really the 4K.
That's right. Yeah.
Okay.
Like they maxed out the results for your Blu-ray video, right? This is like the best quality you can get on a Blu-ray before moving on to the actual 4K Blu-ray discs.
So 4K, are any of the Jasons released in 4K? Any of them? Like
No.
actual 4K? Nothing.
Nothing yet, anyways.
Because you know that's coming, right?
Yeah.
I mean,
Oh yeah. Next year maybe.
that's the next box set,
Yeah.
all on 4K,
Year
which is
and a
about
half,
$500,
yeah.
$600.
But I don't think Scream's gonna do it. That's probably most likely Paramount because they are so desperate for money right now, and apparently they've stopped licensing some of their movies out to these boutique labels, and they're doing it in house.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
I can't remember what studio. Was it Arrow? There was somebody, a boutique label. They all of a sudden just lost the rights for Paramount films, and they released a couple, and that was it. And
Okay, if let's just say Paramount did a box set. They did a box set of the first 8, the true classic. Not the classic, maybe part 8, but the true mainstay name of Jason, Friday the 13th.
Mm-hmm.
If they released it, like, uncut, every one of them is uncut, and the uncut scenes are in the movie, and on 4K Blu-ray, how much would you pay for it? Like, I think, and it's got all the features and everything, but this is the only release that's ever going to have them uncut, or else everything else is going to be what we normally are used
I'd
to.
pay $500.
Yeah, I would.
Yep.
I'd pay $500.
Because that would be it.
100.
That's it.
100?
150. Yeah.
Really?
I believe this Scream Factory is the best we can get.
Really?
Because-
Even if they come in uncut?
Yeah, but apparently Scream tried to get the uncut films, and this is the best that they could get. All the others were like VHS quality and stuff like that. Like all the other negatives were destroyed, so they couldn't do anything about it. So I don't think there is any more out there.
So
I
you
think this is
really
it.
like this set.
Yeah,
How much you pay for it?
it was like 115.
It's
Yeah.
pretty nice. I saw it at London Drugs. They had a copy of it about 6-7 months ago, and they were asking $149.99, I think it was. God, I wish Walmart had it. $5 stickers on all of those. Could you imagine? Yeah, Marlene's on
Get one for me too. I'll give you $5.
Marlene's on our team.
But the rumor is that the Scream's supposed to do a Nightmare on Elm Street. Because
Box set?
that's how they were able to do the Friday, was they were able to work a deal with Paramount and New Line,
Yeah.
right, to combine all the Fridays into
I-
one box set.
I never got into
Most
Freddy.
likely they got another deal going on to do the Nightmare on Elm Street.
Why
box set.
why is the box set of Halloween worth so much more than the Jason one? Is it just not as many made?
So many studios owns the rights to the different movies and sequels.
So
Yeah. It's so
you see how much
ridiculous.
expensive it is, but it's selling for $300, $400.
Yeah.
For Halloween?
All of that. They
Yeah.
think, is it all of them together?
Yeah.
Besides, is it the
It's
I'm not
all
sure.
of them, including Rob Zombie films, too.
Including Rob Zombie. So they got all the studios put into the movies together.
I can't remember. I think it was like 5.
What was the original
6?
studio? Was it an indie? So it wasn't through a...
The Halloween?
Yeah. John Carpenter's original.
I can't remember.
That was an indie, wasn't it? That wasn't through like a Paramount or a...
I think Lionsgate owns the first one.
yeah.
The rights to the first one. Maybe
I thought,
the
was it MCA?
first two. I can't
Universal?
remember who's the original.
I think Universal's somewhere in there.
Universal, I think, did the
Alliance
third one.
took over like by the 5th or 6th one. 6th one, I think.
Yeah.
I think
They're
so,
all
yeah.
over the place.
Yeah.
All
Yeah.
over the map. Didn't was Disney did the seventh one? Or not Disney? Sorry,
H2O.
H2O.
Oh,
What,
yeah.
what's the subsidiary of Disney?
Oh,
Miramax.
TriStar.
Miramax.
Miramax?
Yeah.
Miramax.
Is
that's
Miramax
it.
Disney?
Yeah.
Did one of them? I know it did one of them.
I think it was like their subdivision, like Dimension Films. or
Dimension
something.
Films.
Dimension
That's
Films.
it,
Yeah,
that's
because
it,
TriStar was Disney.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's right. So
Yeah, because they tried that horror movie in the 80s, the Watcher in the Woods or something like that. It was
Yep.
Disney.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's horrible.
The Nightmare on Elm Street Blu-ray set. It's pretty old now, isn't it?
Mhm.
They haven't done a new one, have they?
That was the only one. Yeah. So that's why everybody's thinking, Screen Factory is going to do this big one.
Have you seen the Nightmare films from that Blu-ray set?
Mhm.
Is it
It's
pretty?
okay. Yeah, better than DVD, but
Because I had the big DVD thing with Freddy on the cover. Remember how it's that big box set with
The
Freddy?
black one?
With the black
Yeah,
one. I had
yeah.
that. So the Blu-ray set's better than that.
yes, easily.
But not like Blu-ray quality now.
No.
Yeah. I mean, I've got a copy of it at home, and I'm thinking, gosh,
Yeah.
should I just keep this? And like,
There's got to be a big box set coming out.
like how many years ago did that one come out now? I think 10 years?
Yeah, something like that. Yeah, we're in 2021. Yeah.
I was thinking, yeah, like 2011, 12, it came out somewhere around there.
Yeah. Well, I bought my set when HMV was still around, so that was before Sunrise took over.
Wow. So then, yeah, now you're talking 12, 11, 12.
Yeah, and HMV had a deal. It was like only like $50 or something like that I paid for it, and it came with a little pop figure, those vinyl pop figures from Freddy Krueger. I'm like, okay, sure, I'll buy it.
Oh shit!
But they have to because Freddy's dead. They got to do the Blu-ray 3D version of that because there's that 3D segment.
Oh
Yeah.
my god, this is
I don't know. Freddy was. I don't know.
That's so bad.
Like the 1980s, the two big franchises, Friday the 13th or Nightmare on Elm Street, and, it's like having to pick between the Rolling Stones and the Beatles or something like that, right?
Yeah,
it was
but I thought the early Freddy's were good. Like the first one
I
was
just
really
couldn't
good.
get into them. First one, I thought was great. And I don't know. A moth just landed on me.
Wait 1 second, I'll kill it. 1 second, I got it. Done.
Done. I don't know. I just I think I like the third one. Third one is good.
Third one's excellent.
Yeah.
I really like that one.
But
I thought I kind of put the third and fourth together. They're kind of like Freddy starts to become funny, a comedian.
Yeah.
But he's not over the top yet.
Yeah.
And the fourth one was kind of battling against Jason, right? Because Jason was against Tina, and the fourth one was Freddy was against the other. What was her name?
yeah, I know who you mean. What's her name?
Cute girl with the red hair, looked like
Yeah.
Tiffany.
Yeah, she does that real cliche thing, right? Where the camera zooms on her and she goes, "Bring it on," or something like that, right?
I can't remember her name. Anyway, she was.
Oh wow.
I thought those were good, but then as soon as that fifth one started,
Is that where they had the cameo with Roseanne and Tom Arnold?
No, that was the sixth one.
that's
Is
the
that the
sixth
sixth
one?
one? Yeah.
Like the Jason 7, I thought was great,
Yeah.
and then I thought Nightmare 4, which was together with Jason that summer, I thought it was great as well. And then 1 year later, in '89, they released the two worst ones possible. It was Dream Child against Jason takes Manhattan, and then we're just both god awful.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right? Jason takes a hiatus for a while, but Freddy comes back at the 1991 with the worst.
Which one was that?
Freddy's Dead, the final Nightmare.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Oh my god.
'Cause-
Brutal.
How do you
Did
keep-
you like that one, Freddy's Dead, the final Nightmare?
No.
Oh, Freddy's father is Alice Cooper. Come on.
Hey, Cooper had a fucking productive couple of years. He did a soundtrack for.
I love Cooper.
Yeah.
Marlene and I, when we went to Victoria
Yeah.
back in 2016, where we just missed Alice Cooper by like 2 days.
Oh, he was there vacationing?
We just and we just like if I would have known.
Yeah.
We could have gone a couple of days. He played at one of the amphitheaters over there. Which only about 3,000. I'm like, oh my god, I'd love to have seen that, but I don't know if he would have played any of the songs from Constrictor, from Jason.
Probably not. Yeah.
teenage friends.
He would have been
dying.
playing all of his early 70s stuff. Just the,
which is no
know,
problem. But
playlist, right?
yeah,
So,
I like him just stuff from the 80s.
Alice Cooper was Freddy's father.
Yeah, Alice Cooper's there strapping. You got the strap. So you got Freddy, who is like, raped all these children and killed all these kids.
Yeah.
And we're supposed to feel sorry for him because he was abused by Alice Cooper.
Yeah.
When I knew we were in a lot of trouble with Freddy's dad, I went with my girlfriend at the time, and in the very opening scene where you see Freddy is on a witch's broom.
Yeah.
And he's in the air. Here you see Freddy, and he's in the air, and you can see the silhouette of Freddy on the witch's broom, and he's like, hocus pocus. I was like, oh, this is it. This is going to be garbage. And I have to say that it was by far the worst Nightmare on Street.
I was more of a Friday the 13th guy. And
did you think it was the worst?
The
7 of them.
Yeah.
Freddy versus Jason would have been.
It's a tie between 5 and 6.
Yeah, both of those.
Yeah.
I agree.
Yeah.
Like I would do the Nightmare on Elm Street. I would do 1, 3, 4, 2, 5, 6. That would be my.
I was watching the Friday the 13th rip-offs ahead of Nightmare on Elm Street. The sleepaway camps of the world.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, all the cash-in movies.